should know you by now.
Yeah, but it's still frozen. Something is going on, but it's not. The
Chat with Larry #2.
It's coming up, but it's still frozen. It's not doing something. Something isn't right. I think it's just because the last question. I hope there's zero right now, so we can get back up there.
Bring that water bottle over, please.
This one was one I had, eh?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. So we're back now. Yeah, we're back now. I'm gonna let a few more get in here, and then we'll start down again. All right. It was going to Utah. Somebody was in the chat room. Yeah, and I was hoping that they would get back in so I can answer their question. So we're gonna give it another minute or two so everybody can know that we're back. Yeah. There we go. You got a shadow. Charles, are you gonna come to school here in Utah also? Get it going September 30th. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. Is it Dimitri? Is that what it is? Dimitri? Dimitri is coming in September, right? But no, Dimitri is going to be in October. So in October, what's the weather going to be like in Zoe?
Cool, nice,
Yeah.
pretty weather.
Yeah.
Lots of pretty tree colors.
No snow yet.
Not. They'll be a little on top of the mountains, a little bit pretty, but nothing to deal with.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is when it starts getting more funky.
Right. So Dimitri, when you start, then you said they said it's gonna be Thanksgiving
For the more serious stuff.
So
there'll be some snow whenever you need. In October, he's going to send out there in school. He's going to need to have shorts one day and a big old coat one other day.
Right. But by the time he gets on the Mentor's truck,
There'll be some snow.
It'll be some snow then. So Dimitri is going to get the chance of driving some snow with the Mentor. From New York, I'm used to the snow. Good. Yeah, it's a different situation when you got 80,000 pounds to
It's
deal
a better
with.
situation.
Yeah. Why is that?
I'd rather drive a loaded truck than any car out there in the world.
Yeah, why?
Because it's more stable.
Well, you got more
weight.
Weight pushing against that ground.
Weight pushing against the ground. It's more stable.
Yeah. See, that's a good topic. Y'all want to ask some questions about the snow? We made a snow video.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't know who was making the video, did he?
No, I didn't.
But he was giving some really good advice.
I knew you pointed it so you could look inside.
Right. But there was a lot of useful information in there, and yeah, I was in Michigan when the record weather went through there last year. Yeah, that wasn't all that fun. But bad, if I can not do that again.
They get some snowflakes that big in Michigan.
Yeah. It looked like it was raining white cow turds or something. That was pretty bad, man. We will be here. At least I will. And you come through quite a bit.
Come through here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure you'll be here at school and you'll see me here.
Probably not me.
How is 200 hours counted? He's asking about the 200 hours.
It's sitting in this seat in drive mode, 200 hours of driving.
Right. So once you start driving, once you get in, you're gonna log into the Qualcomm, and then you're gonna become an active driver when you sit behind a seat, and then when you start rolling, that's driving. The Qualcomm will kick on the driving and start your time, and you're gonna have to do that for 200 hours before you can upgrade.
It's gonna be about a month, the average.
On average, yeah. You're about an average in a month with yours. Yeah, you and I was about a month. We actually would have been faster than that, but we took that little time off around
2 or 3 times. So,
yeah. So my student,
Christmas, he had a lot of good loads.
yeah, my student's gonna average. I think he's gonna be about 3 weeks and a couple of days at the most. He's already halfway, and this time next week he'll be clamming the door. We'll start heading towards Texas. So it just kind of depends on how it works. But you got to get 200 hours behind the wheel, undistracted driving. Don't get that phone. You gotta get that phone somewhere else. What you laughing at back there? Huh? By the way,
Because he's been here.
this one is Larry's student. You guys recognize him.
Look up at the camera
He
there.
needs no introduction. See there? He's out hiding him. And there he is. Ma'am. So are we having phone withdrawals while we're driving?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if you no longer want to work for Swift, you just want to get fired, all you got to do is play with that phone while you're driving. I can guarantee you they'll make it real short. They'll have you pull it over somewhere and, take the keys from you. So, you just can't do it. Just can't do it. I tell you what, once you get out here, when you're driving down the road and you look out your window and the person next to you is texting while driving, it looks really, really, really crazy. You'll find out real quick. Them taking off. I don't understand it. You see them weaving. It is true that you cannot do it. You can't drive a straight line at a phone. It's impossible. It's just impossible.
Once you see how quick stuff happens.
Yeah. It's fun, but it can be dangerous as well. And so, gotta keep them phones down. So, Junior, you seeing any messages coming through there? What? He's back. We lost one. He's already,
Oh, you got tired.
Yeah.
He'll be taking a nap, man.
Yeah, that's what he does. He looked like he's napping. Look at his head propped against the cabinet right now.
Yeah, well, he got that phone.
Yeah, when the phone starts doing that, then that means he's about to get.
It's all right.
So is Grandma on there? Did she
don't know.
found it?
I don't know. I told her what you said about the red button.
Yeah, hopefully she can see you.
I don't know how to work this.
I'll give you permission to call her and see if she found
Give
it.
permission.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, you're behind the driver's seat. You can't get your
All
phone. He's gonna make sure she's there. You guys have any questions for him? You need to come on. We better talk.
You see it? You cut off again? When I called you, okay, yeah. She's hearing. All right, bye.
Okay. She said you messed her up.
Yeah, because I called.
Okay.
Then cut it off, so it'll be right back there.
Right, yeah, she'll get it right back. You guys got any questions? We got 7 in the chat room right now, and this wasn't planned. Generally, you send out a little warning for everybody to know, hey, get ready, it's coming. Good deal. No, you guys still on. Cool. Now, the how do Grandma deal with Larry being gone? Pretty well. I know I've talked to her. She kind of enjoys him being gone, but
Yeah.
you get to go through the house.
I go through the house pretty regular.
Yeah. So it's not. And when you guys get out here, the home time isn't a hard thing to get when you need to get it. Okay. It's the company policy is what is it? 1 week, 1 day a week, 1 day a week. So when you're out for a week, you get 1 day of home time. So it works out pretty good. She's finally happy when he leaves. Yeah.
She's happy there's a check on Friday.
Yeah. He's just mailed it there. That's it, right? But you made her happy. You went home and he goes home. How lucky can you get if you got a truck issue? He goes home and his truck breaks down in his driveway. So you got to spend what, a week or so at home?
Monday, it broke down Monday, and we got out of there on Friday afternoon.
So he got to spend all that time at home, driving Grandma crazy.
Yeah.
But you got some good food while you're there.
I got some good food.
Yeah. The on his truck, he's a company driver, right?
Company driver.
Yeah. And
I can't afford the pay cut on my own truck.
Listen, that's a good topic. So listen good. It's only 13 of y'all, but you can get some really good information. So you've been driving with Swift for how long?
Since 01.
So
that would be
18 years. How many of those?
2.2 million miles. That's Swift.
2.2 million miles.
1.75.
Show them your bling. Show them your bling.
That's the million
Look at that.
ring.
Look at that. Bling! Super Bowl of trucking. That's what you get. So 18 years, 2 million miles with Swift. How many of those million miles you drove as owner operator with Swift? 0. If you was going to drive another 2 million with Swift, how many of those would be as an owner operator?
Well, my heart a lot of times wants me to do it, but every time I get that pencil out and do the math says don't do it because it would be a pay cut.
Now, what in that math makes that come true?
Well, I'm at the top. I've been here so long that I'm at the top of the pay scale, which is one thing. And and I'm a diamond driver, so that bumps another 8 cents up. And so that puts me at 59 cents a mile. And most owner operators don't clear 59 cents a mile. Now, it can be done with a lot of work if you run your business right, but a lot of work and a lot more risk.
So the smart money on is stay company driver.
Right.
Yeah. And
I fought that fight because I had all those trucks before, and I fought fixing them and breakdowns and buying stuff, and I know the deal, and this is easier for at least just as much money.
Right. Because, and also one other expense is the added insurance for health insurance.
And the insurance for your loads now. The insurance companies are going crazy. They're jacking it up. That's one of the reasons some of those companies are failing right now is the insurance costs.
Right.
And as a company driver, you get group health insurance.
Right. And that helps you quite a bit. You still have to factor that in when you're going to make a decision.
That's what you do, and then you get a math problem.
Right. The math just don't add up.
Math don't add up. My heart wants one with all kinds of shiny stuff on it. Big old long nose.
Yeah.
18 speed. Go 120 miles an hour, but the math says no.
Right. And when you're young, you're that nice shiny stuff has a whole lot of appeal, and the math just don't have the
power.
That to help you make a wise decision. And that's not to say that coming out here you don't want to. You might want to give it a shot to do a. There's a difference between owner operator and lease operator. Okay. When you come on with Swift, you can become a lease operator, and that's what we're discussing. That it doesn't quite add up. Okay, but if you want a taste of what it's like, then leasing ain't bad, because by the time you get done with that lease and you realize that that it ain't for you, then you can done. The lease is over. You turn the truck back in, and you're done. You go back to being a company driver. But
I got a better idea.
what's that?
Oh, why don't you just be a company driver and keep track of all those numbers and run it like it was your truck, and keep track of the numbers and see where you come out.
Yeah, you can do that as well. You got to be disciplined to do that. You
Yes.
have to be disciplined. You have to be honest with the pen.
And if you're not disciplined, you're not going to make it as owner operator anyway.
There you go. There you go. So that isn't the only reason why I haven't done that. But when I think about it, I hear you say that same thing. Hey, the math don't work, and I get it.
Now, a lot of people do it because the math works for somebody coming in brand new. They're not at the top of the pay scale. But for me, it doesn't seem worth it, because you're going to jump up on your pay somewhat, but not enough for the amount of risk you're taking as running a whole business.
Right.
It's my opinion.
Right.
But I'm not saying don't do it. Some people need to do it to find out. Some people will be successful.
Right. Right.
That's what works for me.
Right. Any other fee questions on there?
Some tips for new mentors.
Well, I did have a question about a mentor, and it was a question on whether or not somebody can get on my truck. Now, the way that's going to work, first off, you have to get on the list, and you get on the list by contacting Autumn, using her as your recruiter, and then everything has to line up. The time that you get off of school, and the time that I'm available for a student. Then you got to pass the litmus test, because we're going to have a conversation. And these, what are the responsibilities for? We'll talk about that. There is some very recent changes with Swift policy, because they're starting to have mentors work specific areas. So not only that, if you listen to Autumn, she's going to tell you to come to Utah. I don't care where you're at. She's going to tell you to come to school here. If you choose to go to school someplace else, then that very well may exclude me from being able to mentor you. So those things we need to take in consideration as well.
You can only take so many.
Yeah. I don't care how what's the maximum amount of students you've done in a year, and
I've never had a month.
You've done over 100 students, right?
I'm sure way over several hundred students.
Okay, so
because I was training at other companies before I came here.
Yeah.
So 20 years here, and 10 years other place.
Training the whole time. You can put a whole bunch of folks in the training game.
Yeah.
A whole lot of people owe you something.
Sure, send the check
to me. I'll forward it.
As long as it's made out to me, that's all right.
Yeah. But if on average it takes a month to train a student, the maximum you can train would be 12. Okay, now you got to take account time off and decompressing time where you want to drive a whole week or so without a student, and and just time off, vacation times, things like that. So what if your lease program, you complete 2 or 3 years, do you own the truck at the end? So remember that question. So the maximum you probably to be reasonable, is all right, you guys with me?
Equipment malfunction again?
Yeah, it's letting me know.
It's hungry?
Yeah, that I need to add some juice to it. All right. Yeah, it's catching up. Okay, there you go. Now the lease program. Do you own the truck at the end of that lease?
No. Then there's a buyout at the end.
That's right. How's that? Is that better? Somebody's telling me to get out of the camera.
Yeah. Move your head, huh?
I'm trying to be seen.
You think you're the star?
How's that? Okay, we'll let here. You can just hear my voice and just talk to Larry. There you go. Is that better, guys? So, no, there is a buyout at the end, and those leases have other things to it. Also, like mileage overages and stuff like that.
You gotta pay if you run over so many miles. You gotta pay 9 cents a mile back to Swift that they put in an account. And if you buy the truck at the end, they will throw that in toward it because it's they're leasing it from somebody. You're leasing it from them, so they don't want the over miles when they turn it back to where they're going unless you're going to buy it.
Right. So that y'all follow that. So these trucks aren't leased to Swift. That's leased to the driver, but Swift guarantees the lease.
Yeah, because they have a part of Swift is the leaser, but
right. So that means if there's 200,000 miles max in that lease program, and you drive it for 250,000.
So many a year, so many miles a year, and usually the teams are the only ones that somebody like a husband and wife team, they buy a truck. That's the ones that get in major trouble.
Get in trouble behind it because they would have driven way more than the lease allows, and that money is charged back to Swift, which means they're going to take it out of the driver's pocket.
And they put it in an account separate, and if you do the buyout at the end, then they'll put it toward that. Otherwise, they keep it because they're supposed to pass it on to the leaser.
To the leaser, right. Now, how does it work when you say, okay, I'm at the end of my lease, I just love so much climbing on the mountain at 25 miles an hour, I want to keep this truck. And they say, well, cool, there's $60,000 balance or whatever. I don't know what the difference is. Okay, how do they work that?
They refinance it again. You're paying the same payment you're paying the lease until it's paid off.
And that's generally about like another 4 years or something. Well, I guess it kind of depends on how long the first lease was.
Depends on, depends on. Well, I think they're 4 years. I think. And then it depends on the value of the truck. That's when I knew a guy that did it. The trucks were worth a little less, so his buyout was $44,000, and I think he financed it for 3 years.
Okay. So you would lease for 4, and then refinance the buyout for another 3,
and then you'd have 1 million miles on it.
Yeah.
When you own it.
Yeah, I guess that would be about at least 700,000, because at least 700,000 because it's 7 years and 100,000 miles a year. And 100,000 is easy to get because I hadn't had this truck 6 months and I got 50,000 miles on it.
And I don't know how these are going to go. Some of them older trucks, 1.2, 1.6 wasn't no thing, so you could run them after you got it paid off. But But I don't know how these new modern trucks with all the sensors and stuff are going to hold up once they get past the million. So I don't know what you're going to have.
Right. Well, time will tell. So once one of y'all grab one, and then we're going to revisit this in 7 years. You can know how it worked out. as long as I can, you know, pull onto the yard and say, "Hey, here's the key. Something wrong with this thing,"
Yeah.
and then go to the lounge
And maybe I need another one. I'll just move my stuff.
Yeah, they got this little ramp right in the middle, and you can drive one truck on one side, other truck on the other side, and walk back and forth, move your stuff, and leave the problem there, and get home. Yeah, right. Yeah, but hey, you know, something like that. You know, I want to put some fancy lights. Oh, by the way, we did see some fancy lights, and even one of them big, huge bug shield things on the front of a Cascadia, parked in the back.
They just killed all the
God, I was like that was the funniest looking thing. We should have took a picture of it. This thing, it was a Freightliner Cascadia, and it was on the yard here. There's a big row of the trade trucks when they get time to retire them, and they go out they put them into sale, and that truck was sitting there, and it may be still back there when we pull out.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing had to be a foot, man. It was like this, like 6 inches you can see out the windshield. But that Cascadia, that did not look good. It did not look good.
Heck with the look. It's
Oh
gonna
my
kill the
God.
aerodynamics of that.
I wanted to cry laughing. That was so funny, you know. But some guys want them fancy lights and, you know, chicken lights, you know, horns at the top pointing forward and all that, you know. So, what did he say there?
I don't know.
On the mentor's truck right now with Swift having, what does he say? Went away.
Just not having a good mentor has a worse personality for teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I understand.
I'm fucking crying a tear right now.
Yeah, I know it, damn it. Yeah, I turned out so bad, right? Listen, you should, and I say that because my student has been on truck with me and he hadn't received one yet. But you should be getting weekly messages through the Qualcomm, and also if you don't answer one on the Qualcomm, you should be getting calls from driver development, and they're going to ask you about your mentor. They're going to ask you how things are going. They want to know if you're being treated properly. They want to know if you hadn't gotten one yet.
No, he hadn't got one. He never got one.
We
don't ever get no memos about what new stuff is.
Right. But if you're not getting them, and they've changed that policy, and I'm going to definitely find out in the morning, you can request to get another mentor. Now, remember, you only got $200, okay? And I want to be in here. Somebody fussing at me about not hitting my head in there. Okay? Hey, brother, can you make me good money for about 2 cargo vans?
You what?
He wanted to know if he bought 2 cargo vans, could he make some money? Yeah, if you smuggling, dope or illegal aliens. But listen,
find some money.
Right?
Find money.
Yeah, but I was in Houston a few weeks ago at a terminal. Damn joke. Yes, it is. It's a glorified drop yard. Yes, it is. Yes. But before we finish his question with those box trucks, I want to make sure that him understand about the mentor deal. You can always call driver development and let them know what the issues you're having. Try to do your best to work it out with the mentor that you're on the truck with. By the time you
communication.
Yeah, yes, you know, and for all of you guys who hadn't gotten to that point yet, before I got on the truck with Larry, he called me and we talked. And, you know, I know now for certain there are some things it's going to be a good fit. And I know for sure now because I listen for those same things. Specific questions, how often you shower and how often do you fart? You know, do you stop and eat at truck stops, or do you bring food and we go to the grocery store? These type of things you wanna find out, ask, so that you can make sure that you're on the same page. This person may never go to Walmart. Walmart tore their grandma's house down and built their store on top of it, so they never go to a Walmart, and so you'll never get there. If that's what you want, then that's not gonna fit. Okay, these are just generic things, but deal breaker stuff you want to know about. Do you smoke? Do you use a lot of profanity? Okay, I mean, just whatever it is that's going to be a problem for you. Okay, could you make at least $1,000 a week? Is what you basically want to know about those deals. So the bottom line is try to find out if that shoe's gonna fit before you get on the truck. Because once you get on the mentor's truck, if you call the driver development and say that you're having a shoe, they're gonna tell that driver to drop you off at the nearest terminal, and you're gonna get dropped off at the nearest terminal. So what are you gonna do? Sit for a couple of weeks waiting for another mentor? You could then finish. So try to work it out before you get off that mentor's truck. But if you cannot do it, call driver development. They are not going to force you to stay on a truck that you're not happy with.
I want to address the verbiage of his original question.
Okay.
He said his training style. So that could mean a lot of things. I've had students not like it because I wasn't training them what they wanted to learn, etc. And they may not be looking at that. So
right.
I don't know what he's specifically speaking of training style. So.
Right. It would fix that. Just say, hey, ask why. No disrespect, but I'd like to know why you want me to, do all these straight line backs before, you got me turning the wheel. I mean, it's just reasoning. So, yeah, ask those questions. So, good money pulling a box van. He wants to know if he's going to make $1,000. And how could we know that?
That is a niche market, and when freight is hot and people and the economy's booming and they need a pallet moved somewhere quickly, those things pay. As if the economy slows down a little bit, those are the first things that are going to fall out. Every time I've looked at like pulling for some of those pulling like Panthers, every time I put the pencil to it, it didn't seem like I was going to make as much money as I would over the road. Right. But if you can get the right gig and you want to be home every night, maybe that is the thing for you.
Right.
So it depends on, but how much money you're going to make, we can't answer that. Yeah. We don't know.
Right. That's kind of like a hot shot kind of thing,
it would
right?
be like a hot shot thing.
Yeah.
But there's a car. You see the little like the little FedEx with it's a bobtail with a big sleeper in that box. Uh-huh. That's in between, yeah. And then lower than that is the sprinter van size things. Yeah. And the sprinter van size thing is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And there's little amounts of freight that move like that, and that's usually quick.
Yeah. Yeah. But,
most of the people that have the little sprinter vans, they have a little fold-down bed because they need cargo space, so they just have a little narrow fold-down bed to take a quick nap. And back there, and if they got a full cargo, then they're like this.
Yeah.
So,
I get that question asked a lot. Yes, I chat. I hear it good because it can transfer different loads, like cars, boats, etc. Yeah, with you ain't gonna do it with a box van, but you're gonna need something like a one-ton dually or something like that with a flatbed.
Anything you can get, the easier you can get into some business. Like hot shot is a pickup and a trailer. Everybody's got a pickup and trailer. It's easier to get into, so it's not going to pay as much because it's easier to get into.
Right. And depending on the weight and the length of the trailer you're pulling, you're going to have to get a Class B to do it. So, I even considered that before I did this, but it didn't make sense for me to get a Class B and be restricted with what I could do. So my advice to you is get a Class A, go get a CDL Class A, and drive trucks and make you some real money. Leave the headaches to somebody else. There's a whole lot more of this freight than there is of that, you know, and not less competition pulling for it. So hopefully that answered your question. Did you raise your hand?
You did raise his hand?
Yeah, you need to
You got a
put it down
question?
real quick. Yeah. The question is, can I go to sleep? Anything good proper across there? I was
But Dimitri has asked 3 or 4 times what to expect the first 2 days of school.
Dimitri, that's a good question. What did you expect your first 2 days of school? You can expect for half your class to get sent home.
Well, as soon as they
That's
put it in
what
the
you
cup.
can. That's what you can expect, because you can see him. You know, I ain't lying. Listen, they either not gonna pass the drug test or they're not gonna pass the physical. Because that's what you're gonna do the first day you get there. You're gonna take a drug test and you're gonna take your physical.
And that's going to take like a half a day because there's like 20 people that have to go.
Or
Right.
50.
Yeah, 20 or 50 is right. And so then it's like half a day, and you're gonna go back, and then they'll feed you some cardboard tacos. I mean, cardboard pizzas, and then they'll start giving you a little bit of information and hand out some tablets, stuff like that you're gonna need, and talk to you a little bit about what's gonna happen, and you might get started, with, I think we started with mapping. And stuff like that, and then the next day, day 2, you get back in the class, and then somebody's going to come out and say you, and you. Hopefully they don't say you, okay? Hopefully they say all the yous. Come with me, and then wave to them. You ain't gonna see them anymore. They could not pee in the cup. Okay, the physicals come the following day, and then they'll pass. They'll kick away. Now, Dimitri, you come here to Salt Lake, and guess what? Your doctor is upstairs. Your physical is upstairs. They right. The ladies up there, the guy that does them. So, it ain't gonna be long for them to send somebody home from your class. It might be the first day. Yeah, but just don't come out here if you ain't clean. Don't come out here if you're not got my physical and permit already. Good job, but let me tell you something. You're gonna do another physical, okay? And that's for several reasons. The first reason is because some people, will take a couple $100 to pass the physical, and Swift got to make sure that you are on the up and up. And the next thing is, if there's only 3 people in your class and one of them is a little bit short for his height, before his weight, it's a little bit short for his weight, then if they said, hey, Oompa Loompa, you need to take a CPAP because you look like you might be, you're discriminating against me. So to keep them from discriminating against you, they make everybody take another physical. That way, when they send Oompa Loompa over there to get his CPAP test, he can't say that they left him stuck out. So they want you to come up here with a permit. In order to get that permit, you have to have that physical. So that's why you got it done the first time. But the second time, Swift's got to make sure that you are good. Okay? They have a responsibility for it, so that's what's going to happen. Get ready for it. You ain't got to pay for it. They ain't got to pay for it again. They probably got it. Huh?
Still got to pay for it until the end.
Right. It's kind of squished into that $6,000. I was the last class. No, the class behind me was the last class to get 3,000, and jumped up to 6 right after that. Same month. Boom. Squeezed in. See what happened when you procrastinate? Glad I know that's more than I drink. Good. I don't, it's a whole lot of people, they don't smoke, they don't drink, they just overeat. Or they eat too much, ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No, too much grain.
Yeah, too much grain. And I did that. Big company get out there with advertising leads on CDL. You can grocery. Man, I'm tell you something. If you get that CDL, you got a golden ticket. Everybody wants you. And they'll tell you all kinds of lies and crazy to get you to come over there.
What do you want me to tell you? What do you want to hear?
Yeah. And then you going $300,000, man. Yeah, they pay you $300,000. Yeah, okay. I don't know what planet that's coming from. That ain't happening, brother. That ain't happening. That's not reasonable. If someone's telling you something that ain't reasonable, it probably isn't. Do you have to idle? No, I can shut off. We can suffocate and pass out in here from the heat. So, Swift don't have. This is a good. Man, this is a good thing. It's a good thing here, because Swift doesn't have APUs. But you had one on the truck at one time, didn't you? Yeah. And yours was, did you tell me yours was like they was testing it out or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, here, this is the test mule. He failed a test while we all can't handle them APU.
No,
but
he kept
what
breaking
happened?
down. He kept breaking down.
The APU kept breaking?
No, I wasn't the only one, but they decided it was too much maintenance. They were having to spend too much money on them.
Yeah. And how long ago was that?
Oh, many years ago. 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Well, it was, remember, I don't remember when did the fuel spike and go like to $4.55?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember.
That was
in California.
Well, yeah. Well, it's in California, yes. That's the state. California is the state that God hates. He's trying to shake California away from all the United States. Just keep shaking it.
He's trying very hard to get it done.
And shaking it, but it ain't come off yet.
He tried very hard to get it done.
Yeah. but the APUs was breaking down, causing some issues.
Well, breaking down and just maintenance, because it's another motor that they have to maintain.
Right. Yeah, just like a reefer on a trailer.
Like a reefer.
It's more.
The reefer is making them more money than that.
Than that APU, right? And I'm sure by now they've. I'm a CR England. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Well,
wow.
Everybody, a moment of silence.
Yeah. Take your hat off.
Yeah.
There you go. So what is this CR England question? What do you say?
Next Friday's a CDL test.
Uh-huh.
Praying that you pass the CDL.
Well,
no question.
Now
you're not gonna get paid shit.
Yeah. Well, I want to say this. Email me after you pass that test, and they tell you that they don't have a job. It's with transportation, okay?
I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
3-bunk truck.
Yeah. 3 bunks, 2 drivers, a driver, a mentor, and 2 students. Oh my God.
See, that bed's right here.
Bed right above your head. OTR, owner, operator. $6,000, $7,000 a week. That is probably correct.
Gross.
That's right.
That's
it. I want to know what you're bringing home. You ain't bringing that. That's not reasonable. I need your support when I get a CDL. I'm down for you. I'm always here. Okay. $3,000, $6,000 a week is a gross number. Half of that is fuel, and then insurance, and the maintenance account. And by the way, if you get on the maintenance account and you don't fulfill the lease, you lose that maintenance money. Sean, I hope he answered this question. He said, okay. Sean was the total operating cost is percentage. That's you know, that's going to vary too. It varies on the company that you're with, but I'm going to highly advise this channel is for rookies, and I'm pretty sure 90% of you are chiming in are rookies, and that is not something that you should consider right now. I mean, reasonably speaking, how long should they wait before they decide to do something like that? This is a lease, and we're going to define first the difference between leasing and owner operating. Okay, it's two. They're not the same thing. Okay, if you as an employee here at Swift, I can go up to the front. And well, they can't do it here. I had to go to Phoenix to do it. They don't do it here.
Do what?
The owner operator. I mean, a lease. I had to go to Phoenix to lease.
I don't know. I expect this is a big terminal. I expect they got a few trucks.
So, yeah. So I could go up to the front and say,
Ready.
I'm ready. Here's my vein.
Show me the money.
Stick the needle in there and just drain me dry, and then I can become a lease operator. Okay, and the quick, fast, easy way to determine whether if you are a lease operator or an owner operator. This is how you can determine. If Swift tells you, we saw you on the phone, you are no longer an employee here, you're done. And you are able to drive the truck. If they say you're fired, we are terminating your lease and get your stuff out of our truck, you are not an owner operator. You are a lease operator. Okay, and the amount that you're gonna get paid as a lease operator, your mileage pay is less than if you were an owner operator. But in either occasion, unless that sucker is over 7 years old, chances are you leasing it because if you still making payments, somebody else owns it. That's just the bottom line. You think I'm lying? Quit making payments and see if you don't end up disappearing from you. So no, but
if your name's on the title,
that's it. And you got a title in your house. So that's the difference between a leasing and owner operator. To be made, you read a pre-trip. What you already? Car hauler, and then had another question with car hauler and difference between car hauler and some other freight.
The one about Sierra England was about the pre-trip.
What it said?
Second to last.
Second last. 2 p.m. midnight. You read pre-trip. Secured. Not been broken. Properly mounted and secured, not broke, loose, or missing. Properly mounted and secured, not broke, loose, or missing. I can just.
Did you hear that before?
It just rolls off the tongue because I practiced that so much. Properly mounted, secured, not broke, loose, or missing. Just point at everything you see, call it out, and say they are all properly mounted, secured, not broke, loose, or missing. You are not leaking, and no phrase, and I want to vomit just thinking about it. But oh my God, that's the little rhythm that you have to go through if you want to do it the easy way. I don't know that there's a question about it, but yeah.
Bring it back.
All right. But I mean, pre-trips is a part of it. It's something you got to go through to get your CDL. And I hate he's doing it for Sierra England. What's the next question? It was right under that one. It was about car hauling.
Car hauler versus carrying standard freight.
Swift has them both. Yeah. Yeah.
They're doing them vans out of Mexico
Yeah.
on the little car hauler.
Oh, they don't have the actual car holders.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have little car hauler trailers. They're not the multi-functional. They're just a ramp, and they drive three vans up on it and haul them.
Yeah. You know, and so you can do them both. The pay is, you know, but you know, they're coming out of Laredo, and then go wherever they go. So you know,
You head back. There's usually two run together. One with a little sleeper, and they put that one on top of the other one and haul it back, and run one truck back. Probably run a team back.
yeah, golly, that's crazy. I didn't know they did that.
You see them all the time. You see two of them behind each other going, and then later you'll see one of them up on it, going back. And one's a little smaller truck, so it'll fit on.
The last one. That's specifications question.
My question is there more money in the 6 and 8 car hauler versus carrying freight? So he's wanting to know about big car haulers.
Yeah, and I hear people making real good money at it, but I've never done it, so I can't address it.
Yeah, you know, let me ask you a good question. How many of these trucking positions, whether it's call haulers or oil fields or flatbed, or how many of them that you've heard they don't pay nothing? You know, somebody doing it, they just ain't making no money. You know, I don't give a damn. Whatever it is, they gonna tell you they making $1 million a minute. That's just a fact. It's just a fact. You know, they ain't making no money. You know, they ain't no more money than everybody else making, is what I'm saying. You know, unless you're doing something special.
Yeah, niches are where the real more money is. The
Right.
niches and specific car hauling, like high-end car hauling, probably pays really good.
Yep. Yeah. You know, and those are the ones you'll see when they got, you know, there's a big old huge trailer that's covered from the top to the bottom, all the way front to the back. Or you look on it and see a bunch of Teslas or something like that, you know. Those are real high value.
I saw some of them going down the road the other day, and they weren't covered or nothing.
Right.
Teslas. And I was going,
Teslas,
what
yeah.
in the hell?
Yeah. You know, and or if you was doing flatbed and you were doing like you're on a wind energy contract and you was carrying the windmills and
RG is carrying the heads.
Yeah. And those pay extremely well, and you know, you watching this channel, you can't get that job because you don't have the experience for it. Someday you will, but it's gonna be a minute or 2 or 20 years. You know, I'm someone handling these truckers starting. Because of Swift on the side. Hey, turn the CB off. Okay? If that's where you're getting the squawking from, turn the CB off. And you know, we get people gonna flip you off driving down the road. You know, you're gonna get people cut you off. They're gonna pass you up, and as soon as their trailer clears your front bumper, they're gonna swerve over in front of you. You know, just because you got that Swift name on the back, you know. But also keep in mind, you know, there's people who hate the Patriots. The Patriots they win just too much, so everybody hate them. Swift win the Super Bowl of trucking every year. That's why they're the biggest and the baddest. That's it. And if anybody got freight, Swift got it.
When J.B. Hunt was the biggest one around, all the jokes and stuff were about J.B. Hunt. Then Snyder was the biggest for a while, and all the jokes were about Snyder. Now Swift is the biggest.
So it's Swift time. Yeah, that's it. You know, they just haters, and you can't let them mess up your game. You know, I don't know that I've ever been involved in an industry where the people who are in that industry have so much negative to say about it. You know, you want to hear something negative about truck driving, go to a truck stop. You know.
I love it. Sure
Yeah.
beats working.
Yeah. Yeah. So anybody else real quick, we gonna be ready to shut this thing down in a little bit. Larry's gonna buy me some lunch, some dinner.
Excuse me? Did you bump your head when you got in? You bumped your head when you got in, didn't you?
Hey guys, we are at we're almost at 57 minutes, so we're gonna right at an hour we're gonna be done. So you ask some more questions, you better answer them. Ask them. If you asked already, and yeah, if you I want to get my head in there. I'm trying to get my head out of there.
You're the star of the show, so you better get in.
You are today. So where we go? Where's that? There's number. Oh, dude, that wow, that's a whole lot of figuring to do on the live. You know.
What was it?
It was a whole bunch of figuring, a whole bunch of quick math. If you idle your truck shut off. Okay. These trucks have a temperature variance where they will idle. So it's below, what is it? Below
68 to 32 or something like that?
Yeah. Right. Between 68 and 32 they won't. It was higher than that. And I hadn't had any problem with this truck now. And that Volvo had a little issue. But to the Volvo's defense, that Volvo has idle as the idle control. I didn't know how to do it, and it has a bunk heater and all that. If you're gonna say this thing got bunk heater, they ain't gonna switches. Somebody didn't finish installing it. It was all in the display panel in the back. You have to program it through there and find it, and it does it. But you know, outside of those temperatures, the truck should idle. Okay. Now, the sensors are in the dash. So you need to make sure you don't keep a bunch of stuff on the dashboard that will hinder the sensor, the sun sensors that has the temperature done. Some of them are even outside temperature probes, and so the crazy thing about it is, you know, the temperature outside and the temperature inside is not the same, of course.
In a tin box.
And
plastic box.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it might be, you know, pretty doggone warm, and you're wondering why the truck ain't idling. But you know, it does hit that spot, you know, where, you know, my truck hadn't shut off. In fact, it ain't shut off, and I don't even use Opti-Idle. Opti-Idle is only on Freightliners. And it's only on Freightliners with the not Detroit, but Packard. Is it Packard or Detroit?
Detroit.
Detroit's only one with the Detroits. And
I don't think you can get a Freightliner without a Detroit.
Yeah. And I know that because I took it to when I went over to the shop, and I asked him what this thing on Opti-Idle, and he asked me if it's what engine it has in it, and yeah, he said he looked it up. He says, "Oh, it's in there," and he showed me what to do, and made it idle, and so that's how I know how to do it. But
and so let's talk about the Opti-Idle. So the Opti-Idle will kick on when it's in between those temperatures.
Yeah, and
can you set it for 60 in the back?
No.
And Opti-Idle used to, you had a thermostat in the back.
It is. Yes, in the back. Yes, but it doesn't set
override that.
Right.
Override that.
Right. You can't make it come on inside of those parameters that the truck is set for. But when the truck, you can technically set where the truck is going to turn off and on, because it's going to have to reach the temperature in which you have it set at in the back. Okay. And if it's hot, you're gonna have. If it's cold outside, then you're gonna have that heat kind of crank, so it ain't gonna shut off, you know that much. I hadn't had that issue. And right now it's super hot outside. And if I was to turn Opti-Idle on, it's not on Opti-Idle. We just back up, park, and I just didn't shut it off. But it's too hot for it to shut off. If it was in that catacombish little deal there, then yes, I would turn on the opti idle. So what it did get to a temperature where it would run, then the truck would automatically start itself and run itself. But with opti idle, the dash goes away. You can't control it from the dash. You have to control it from that bump deal back there. And I have to crank it all the way up to make the high vents work here. Because if I don't, I'll have a baked chicken up at the top by the time I'm done. And by the way, the Freightliners that I'll talk to you guys about, it's just a oven at the top. The last turn I have Chris figure something out. And if you put a little small fan up there, it'll move that air. And it makes a huge difference.
So you can pull some of this cooler air
up there, and it absolutely makes a world of a difference, you know. And so I actually, the one that Chris had, I actually got it from him, and I mounted it. So
up there,
so I mounted it there, and it stays on, you know. And turn it on.
Well, that's a pretty good size fan.
Yeah, and it was actually moving pretty good. So, guys, I hope we had a little fun with Larry, and you know, picked his brain some. So, yeah, I'm still here. So I hope we got enough answers. We're gonna sign off and go find us something to eat. So next time we do one, I'll try to send you guys some heads up. I appreciate that. You guys are great. Thank you for doing it. We sure do what we can. I don't get to hang out with him too much, but when I do, it's a good time.
Pretty often, really.
Yeah, kind of right lately. You've been following me around, you know. All right, guys. See you when I see you.